The following presentation is brought to you by the Realm Network.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Vixens Who Rule. I'm not going to waste any time. We have an old friend appearing back on the show. I'm delighted to have her. I feel like this is Lucha Underground week because I've spoken to so many people from Lucha this week. Everybody's really excited. 2 weeks from today, January 27th, is the new season of Lucha Underground. And with me, returning to the show, is the Lucha Underground, beautiful, exotic, vivacious, smart, brilliant ring announcer, Melissa Santos. Melissa, how you doing?
That was wonderful. Thank you for the introduction. I'm doing good.
Now, Melissa, who's that in the background? I'm seeing somebody in the background.
My dog.
Does he know he's on camera?
It's a girl, but yeah, I don't know. Come here, Mika. Come here, Mama.
Is that a boxer?
Yeah, it's a girl though.
I used to. I had two boxes growing up. I love boxes. Love them.
Yeah, she's the best. She just has a lot of energy right now. I'm gonna have to. You know how they get. I have to take her for a walk. It's like when she's destroying things. She actually destroyed a pair of my very expensive, designer heels. So I'm kind of mad at her.
I'm glad that you brought that up because I want to ask you something about that. But I want to talk about the boxer for a second. Did you purposely get a boxer dog, or you saw that dog and fell in love with her?
It was kind of funny. I was looking for a dog. I was at shelters every week, at least once a week, and I found myself just getting sad and depressed because there's so many dogs that don't have homes, and I found myself feeding dogs but not finding the connection that I wanted with this particular dog. And then I got a phone call from a friend saying that these boxers were available, and it was these boxers were created on complete accident. Two people came together, got married. The female dog, they weren't aware that they thought she was fixed, but she wasn't until she came together with another boxer. And they just happened to both have boxers when they got married. And so that's how she came to be. And she was the runt. I think the boxer only had 8 or so, and no one wanted her. I'm like, what?
Oh, yeah, well, I was going to say,
you saved her from a weird situation. So
yeah, you're not going to find any boxer at a shelter. I mean, I could tell you that. They're pedigree dogs, and they're expensive dogs too.
I didn't really know until I started doing a little bit of research. And then there are actually boxer rescues. Usually they're mixed and stuff. So my next one, I do want to get her a friend. And I think I just want to save an older boxer, maybe a mix. It doesn't really matter to me, but I do want to try to save one.
Yeah. Now, Melissa, I bet you did a little research, so you might know this, but you might not know this. Do you know back in the day, like I said, when I was a kid growing up, we had two boxes. We had Brutus first and then Butkus second. Do you know Butkus, exactly. That's what I named them after. Okay. But do you know, back in the day with boxers, they used to cut their ears.
They still do.
Oh, do they still do that? Because I don't see any of them with the ears straight up anymore.
I don't know if I like that. It makes them look mean. I don't know.
Yeah, well, but that was how boxes was supposed to look, and now a lot of people don't do that anymore. I guess they feel it's cruel punishment to the dog.
Yeah, but look, I can show you her booty. It's cropped.
Why are you showing me the dog's ass on there? I mean, with all due respect, Melissa, you know what I mean?
She's the best dog ever.
Look, you love your dog. I love that, Melissa. See, that's what I love about you. You love your dog.
She's amazing. Yeah, she's a good dog. So I love that you're a boxer person because it takes a certain type of person to have one of these guys. So
yeah.
But she's loving. See, she's always.
She's all over you. She's all like a cheap suit. She's all over you. Look at the dog. Now, Melissa, I got to ask you a question. We were supposed to do this interview yesterday, and you had some problems with somebody. Yeah, somebody hacked into your account. What happened, if you care to talk about it?
I have another, this new phone. I'm actually doing this from my phone. It's kind of cool. I had an issue with it, but I basically, I got rid of it. And I think that had something to do with it because I thought I had wiped everything out, but maybe I didn't. Someone got in and changed my email, and then I couldn't get into my Twitter, so I changed but I had to get into my email in order to get the link to fix everything. So it was kind of got scared. I'm like, I don't want anyone to hack into all my social media. You know more than anyone that's a big thing for us.
Big
So
thing, yeah.
But
everything,
into my social media or into my anything private, I was really scared. I was like, what the heck is happening?
but
I was
is
really
everything
upset,
everything
actually.
okay now? Does everything look like it's okay?
So far so good. I'm gonna start changing my passcodes like at least once a month to just switch it up on all my social media outlets. So whoever did that,
Yeah. Now,
happy
Melissa,
with it.
listen, I got to ask you this question. Now, so we couldn't do it yesterday, so we scheduled it for today. About an hour, I get a little DM from you, and you basically say to me, now this video, this interview isn't on video, is it? Melissa, I got to ask you a question. How could you possibly think that I would interview you and not have it on video?
I don't know, because sometimes people don't interview me on video. It's all it's 50-50.
Yeah, but Melissa, I want ratings. And if I want ratings,
hopefully I got you. So I came. I went to work out. So that's why I have my hair in a bun.
yeah, why don't we have Bunhead, Melissa? We got Bunhead going on over there.
I love Bunhead.
But what about my male viewers, Melissa? Can we let the Bunhead down? Like, is that asking too much?
I don't think it's gonna come down like the right way.
Can we try, Melissa? I mean, Melissa, a lot of guys are gonna.
You don't like my face?
Melissa, a lot of guys are going to be looking forward to this, and you know,
You
Bunhead
like my
is
face?
like, oh, here we go. See, now we got Bunhead from Bunhead to ponytail.
Yeah, ponytail.
Here we go.
That? Is that better?
I can't get the full gimmick.
Is that better? I have Bunhead a lot.
There we go. Melissa, now hold on. You got to do the guys love when you do the back and forth.
It's not going to work.
Do the back and forth gimmick anyway. The guys love that.
You're horrible, Vince.
Okay, but do the gimmick.
It's all hairsprayed. It's all aqua netted out.
Look at you. Look at you. You're a beautiful woman, Melissa. You know that. You're a beautiful.
That's all you get, Vince.
You're a beautiful young. That was enough for me. You're a beautiful young lady.
Ponytail.
Now, Melissa, I gotta say, so I'm gonna take a little credit for something. All right, and if you disagree with me, you know we're friends. We can disagree. Listen. I don't want to say I discovered Melissa Santos because obviously, you know, you were there, you know, before Vince Russo. But I got to tell you, the first time I saw you on the Lucha Underground, and it was probably the first episode, I looked at you immediately and I said, this woman is a star. Big star.
And by the way, my hair wasn't a ponytail the first episode.
Was it really? Okay, that's good to know. But I could tell by everything. I could tell this girl's a star. I got hot because they weren't putting your name on the screen. I gave Krista Joseph hell about that. And you know, I was in your camp. Then I bring you on the show, and I don't think at that point there probably wasn't a lot of people interviewing you, right?
You were actually my first interview.
Okay, because I knew I saw
type stuff like this.
Yeah, I saw star quality. Yeah. So now I bring you on the show for the first time. You're nice enough to do the show. The world falls in love with you. And now you're Melissa Santos, this big, huge star. And now, like, I think, like, I got to fall in line with everybody else now to interview you.
It was easy. You just asked. And I said yes.
Okay, yeah, you're right. That's true. All right. But Melissa, listen, let's.
You're not. You know, I actually now I have. It's different with you. You know, we built a relationship before. You know, I got like the manager. Now I have a manager that's handling a lot of stuff for me. Like I'm doing March 2nd, I'm doing Reading Across America with a bunch of other celebrities. I'm going to go and read to children and, you know, and he sets all that stuff up for me to get me more publicity and doing some stuff with Telemundo and with like, yeah, there's some cool stuff. I can't say everything because he's going to like choke me until there's a press release, but there is some cool stuff happening. But that's now. But I'm still the same person, you know. It's just
I got a great idea.
It's different for you though.
Melissa, I got a great idea for you. And what the guy, one of the creators of Lucha Underground, Robert Rodriguez, right? I got this great idea. I had Carly on just a couple days ago, Katrina. Okay. And, she's big time into acting. She really wants to get into acting. When she left the WWE, she thought she was going to go into acting. Then Lucha came around, but she still wants to get into. Do you guys see Robert Rodriguez much?
We have seen him a couple of times. It's on a different level now with him. I never thought that's truly a blessing. I never thought that was gonna. Not that it wasn't going to happen. It's just I think it's amazing that I could just go, "Hey, Robert," and he knows who I am now. So
okay, now speaking of that, now you speak 100%.
Español, sí.
Yeah, okay, and so does Carly. I have to assume, right?
I don't think so.
Well, that doesn't matter.
I think she can speak. She can get into it, but not fluently. But I think she can. She's an actor. She can do whatever.
Can you imagine? And you got Robert Rodriguez in your hip pocket, as far as I'm concerned. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine you and Carly Perez, two super hot detectives, like a modern day Charlie's Angels, the two of you to the Spanish speaking market, to the American speaking market. You two should get together and pitch them something.
I'm producing something right now. I can't say anything yet. And with some pretty talented director and a group of people. So we're putting together something incredible that is, once it's done being shot, I would like to talk to you about it and maybe do another interview, and I can show you the trailer and all that.
Are you asking me in a roundabout way to be your leading man in this project?
That would be great.
No, listen, I got to ask you this. You said producing. Are you actually putting this together?
I'm helping put together this. Yes, I am.
Wow, that's tremendous. That's terrific.
I just feel like in this industry, you have to do a little bit more than just, because I came into wrestling through different means. Like I had an agent, and my agent knew about Women Are Wrestling. And those of you who are watching, who followed it, and I know they're doing like a relaunch right now. I started wrestling there, and that's what really put me in the position that I am right now. So I'm really thankful for that. But I have an acting background. I can sing, dance, and act. I was trained to do all those things, and I love that I'm able to use my voice in a different way than I thought I was going to be able to use it, as a singer as well. So I don't know what just happened. I lost
somebody might have tried to call you.
Back.
Or something.
And I just feel like when you're able to get a little bit more involved with projects, like I'm very creative. I'm writing a lot this year is one of those things that I'm like, okay, I'm doing it. I'm already doing that now. I wanted to bring a little bit more to the table, and I wanted to create characters, create something that I feel would embody that like powerful, strong, like kick-ass chick, that is one of the many facets that kind of embody me. So now I get to create her. So I'm working with some people, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Like I get.
Do you write as well, Melissa? Do you ever do any writing?
I write. I've been writing my whole life. So I write a lot, and now I'm structuring it in order to do like screenwriting and screenplay. It has to have a certain structure, so that's what I'm actually working on now. So
now, Melissa, do you have the freedom? I have to ask you this question now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like talking too much about it because I know how hard it is. But I've got a screenplay, not a screenplay. It's a television show, and I've been working on it for a while, and now it's in the hands of a production company, and now they want to go the next step with it. Does your I'm assuming in the conversation I had with Carly, your Lucha contract would allow you to do outside acting projects?
That is what is amazing about Lucha Underground.
Yes.
And I'm going to bring it up. WWE does not allow them.
No, it's not that they don't. It's not that they don't allow. They want to own you. They want to own you
no matter what you.
And
do.
they want to make money off of everything you do, which is total BS.
Let's say you go and audition, right? You go and audition, and let's say so and so director, producer, whatever wants you for their piece. They will turn around and maybe take it from you and maybe give it to someone else. They'll make that phone call, and because they have they have the control, they're able to manipulate, and I think that sucks with Lucha Underground. It's different, just so different. I'm able to do so many other things. If I, working on this project, producing this project, and shooting it and acting in my own project, I can do that.
Yeah.
No one's telling me, hey, Mel, you can't go do this because the contract says this. No. My contract does say that I have to stay with Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, which makes sense. Of course, I'm not going to go do another wrestling show. But other than that, I have the freedom to do anything else. And I feel like the more our talent gets out there doing other things, because people are watching us, their eyes are on us. I don't think there's anything wrong with showing that our talent is actually, very, very talented, and they can do other things as well. It just makes our show look better.
I got to tell you this, and I hope you listen to me. I hope you listen to me. And listen, I know so many talented women in wrestling, but they got pigeonholed in wrestling. You could do so much more. And listen, you and I both love Lucha. You give all your success to Lucha. I put Lucha over the moon. We both love the company, but please don't pigeonhole yourself to just you could do so much more. So much more.
And something like this is allowing me, it's opening doors. I've never would have thought coming to LA that I would be wrestling, then I would be ring announcing, and then ring announcing in a show that is tied with like a director and a producer, like Mark Burnett and Robert Rodriguez. It's incredible. So it's very different. It's a hybrid. Of wrestling. And I feel like because of that, it won't allow us to just stay in one spot. Like, people are watching this from the Hollywood scene, the Hollywood scene.
Melissa, you know what I always felt, and I think you have an advantage in so many areas, but I always felt this. Tell me what you think about this. I always felt this way. If you really have talent and you're really ambitious, I really believe if you're in the heart of LA, if you're in the heart of Hollywood, I believe with all my heart, if you have talent, you can make things happen. You just got to hustle, and you just got to play the game. You have so many things going for you. You're right there in the heart of LA. There are so many networks now. There is such a need for programming out there now. You're a woman, you're of Hispanic descent, you're beautiful, you're on a television show. Man, I got to believe everything's pointing in your
network that also needs content as well.
Yes, everything's pointing in your favor.
And that's why I'm working on other things. When I'm not shooting or I'm not doing other projects, I'm like focusing on, I'm getting to work. So it's exciting. Melissa, it's going to be a good year.
We're not going to forget the little people on the way.
Of course not.
All right. Okay. I just want to make sure. I just got to clarify. Melissa, I got to ask you a stupid question.
Okay.
Are you listen, every time you appear on TV, you always have a different look. You always look exotic. You always look stunning. Are you one of those women that do you not wear the same thing twice?
Not on Lucha Underground.
But now let me ask you this. That clothing is yours, correct? Oh, it comes from Lucha. Oh, okay. So then you got nothing to worry about, because I'm sitting here and I'm saying, man, these poor girls, they buy something once, and okay, so all that comes from Lucha.
And then sometimes I get to keep it if I really like it. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, okay, so you don't have to worry about buying a new dress for every show, whatnot.
I have so many dresses right now. I was actually reorganizing my closet because everything does not fit. I have too many heels and too many dresses. Now, can you imagine? Dresses are expensive.
They're very expensive.
Buy one for each episode. It was my paycheck.
Now, Melissa, I gotta tell you something that was very funny to me, because we knew each other. I interviewed you, and then we did a little, meet and greet that was a cluster because the guy that set it up didn't do his job. But I got to meet you anyway. But I got to tell a story, because we could talk about it now because it's funny.
Oh my gosh, what?
I thought this was so funny because you really didn't know me, and you were fairly new, with Lucha and everything, but you were so excited about Lucha and talking about Lucha and telling me about Lucha that you told me a storyline or an episode that was already shot before it aired.
And I was like, please don't say anything, because I don't want to get fired.
The next day, I'm at the mall eating, and I get a call from you absolutely frantic that I'm going to take this little tidbit and run to all the dirt sheets and everybody with it. And I was telling you, Melissa, I'm not going to do that to you. I would never do that to you. The only reason I'm telling you this is because when you're a big movie star, I'm trying to build my case of, you could trust me. I kept it to myself. I didn't say anything.
This is true.
Right?
This is true. Vince Russo keeps his promises.
Yeah. And by the way, that was a great scene and a great angle with Pentagon Jr. last year. Absolutely great.
I know. It was intense. It was intense. You could hear a pin drop in there. I was scared. I was so scared.
But
oh my God, she's really dragging me around. And the thing is, I do have a wrestling background, but given the fact that I am a ring announcer on Lucha Underground, I couldn't find back. I couldn't really have that technique, and I was in hot heels. Like I was being dragged around, and there were wedges, but I mean I was elevated, so I actually twisted my ankle. So the following episode that I had to shoot that same day, I was wrapped. My ankle was wrapped, and everyone thought I was selling, and I'm like, no, my ankle.
Melissa, let me ask you about that fear, because I've been put in that position a couple of times. I had the honor, I did something with Flair and Booker T and Goldberg and guys like this. My absolute fear was always, I don't want to make these guys look bad. I don't want to, I could have cared less if I got hurt. I didn't care about any of that. My main concern was I don't want to make these guys look bad. So was it that kind of fear for you, or what were you feeling?
Oh my God, so many. Yes, that was part of it too. I want this to look good. What does it look like? As soon as I was out, as soon as I got backstage and I was limping, I'm like, did that look good? I was the first thing. I was like, ow, wait, my ankle. And then, wait, did it look good? Because I really wanted Pentagon to look like, I wanted it to look good. I wanted it to look like he is about to break my arm, this is happening. And I was scared, that it wasn't. And then also scared that he was going to hurt me accidentally because I was flailing, I was oh, he got scratched. He was scratched up. I scratched.
That's great, though. That's tremendous.
Underneath his mask. And so he shows me and he's like, look what you did. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. He's like, but it looked good.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say that. He probably loved that.
Yeah. Because it just the way he was grabbing me. I mean, he was really. He manhandled me. I don't know if that's the right word for it.
Yeah, it was great.
Intense.
Yeah,
it was intense.
Now, Melissa,
it was great, and I love that character. I mean, I love that character.
Yeah, that whole storyline at the end with Vamp. I mean, the whole. I think I'll be honest, and I've said this. I think far and away, that was the best wrestling angle I saw all year. I didn't see a better angle.
You didn't see it coming. Yeah.
Nope. I thought it was tremendous. Hey, Melissa, let me ask you this question. The last time you and I spoke, Lucha was just starting. You had a boyfriend at the time. Do you have the same boyfriend?
When it first started?
When we first spoke, you were dating somebody.
Did we? Yes.
So you got the same boyfriend?
Yes.
Has that relationship at all changed? Being now that you go to work, with Lucha and you're around all these strapping guys and athletes. And listen, I know wrestlers. I know it's Lucha and it's a great place to work, but I know they're hitting on you because they're animals. I know all that. Has that affected your boyfriend's frame of mind at all?
He's incredibly confident. Even the most incredibly confident guy could have his moments, which he does. He'll ask me. But I feel like he knows how I carry myself. I won't mix work with play, Yeah. So the guys, they're always nice to me. No one's ever come right out and hit on me or anything like that, but they're they're nice. They might flirt a little bit, but it's not I feel like I've set the tone.
You're a lady. I mean, you could see that on first sight. You're an absolute lady.
Yeah.
Melissa, who are some of your confidants at at Lucha. I got the feeling, I got the impression that you have a good relationship and a good friendship with Matt Stryker. I know you spoke about Stryker a lot. Who are some of your confidants at the company?
I love Stryker. He is just so funny. I'm so mad at him for dropping my donuts this past weekend. Just like ran right into my donuts, dropped them all over the floor, looks up at me, goes, "Whose donuts are these?" I'm like, "They're my donuts." He's you don't have to eat them anyway. You don't need to eat them. I'm
Nice
like,
guy.
"Oh," I'm like, "Thank you." Like they were a gift from a fan, so I really wanted to eat them. I was like, they're my favorite, like one of my favorite donuts. So a fan follows me, and then they brought it for me. So he made me mad. But other than dropping my donuts, I do love him. But I'm really close to Stolman. Matt Stolman.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the writers, and I owe a lot to him. I at first didn't know what to do with his energy. He's very, very like he likes things done a certain way, and his way usually works. He's very intense, and when I first started Lucha, I was like really intimidated by him. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm doing it the right way. Or how, just learning the whole like ring announcing psychology, but he helped me go from like here to like here. Like when I watch myself on the first episode and then now it's like two different people, because I was still learning. And he allowed for me to just be over with like everyone. He just taught me a lot of what I know. I closed everything out because a lot of people were doing this when I first started, and then I just like focused on him.
Good.
So before every episode, before we shoot, we always get together, we go over the announcements, we talk about like just what's gonna happen, we go over notes, and that allows me to be very, very like in tune. Him and I are like one person.
Yeah.
If something happens and I like maybe forget an announcement or something because it's very repetitive sometimes, I'll like turn to him, he'll mouth it, I'll turn back. If you ever see me look over there, it's maybe because he's throwing something at me, but we make it very seamless.
Yeah.
So
Now,
it's amazing.
Is it fair to say that you probably stay as far away from Vampiro as you possibly can? Is that a fair statement?
No, I love Vampiro.
Damn. Melissa, I got to tell you, I love Vampiro with all my heart and soul.
Amazing. And he has been also a lot of help as well. He'll tell me what I need to fix, or like just give me not so much fix, but just like make better. Because we're always what we do is an art, and it can always get better. We can't please everyone, but we you can tell when something's good or bad, and so he goes in there and he talks to me, and I trust him. And I mean, I've worked with amazing people who have been in this business for a long time. So
now, Melissa, let me ask you this, because again, this is just a feeling and a vibe I get by watching and talking to people. Man, I got to tell you, it's so weird. I worked with the women, in the WWE locker room, and I could tell you they absolutely hated each other. There were fights that I had to break up. It was bad. On the other side of the coin, I will say I worked in the TNA locker room, and all the girls always got along. But one thing, like I always notice when working with the females, and it's just because it's the nature of the business, it was always that, they always had to prove themselves. They were always the underdog. They were always scratching, to get that 5 minutes on TV for the guys to throw them a bone. I kind of get the impression when I sit and watch Lucha and I talk to Chris and people like that, I talk to Vamp, that with, you, Carly, Eva Lise, I almost get the feeling like you guys are, it's like an even playing field. And I don't get the feeling in any way, shape, or form that the females are being held down. The females aren't being allowed to grow and prosper. Would you say that's pretty much the environment with Lucha? And if so, where do you think that comes from? Because it's not generally that way in wrestling.
It comes from the people who hired us. That's where it comes from. They give us our place. Like me, for example, as a ring announcer, they put me right smack in the center, and they stick a light on over my head in front of me, and that moment's mine. Even, it's 2 seconds, but it's mine, and they give me that moment. So also when Ivelisse is out there, they give her moment, so it's that respect that our executives have for us and our writers that allow for that. I feel the cattiness comes from, the gossip and not giving each talent what the time they deserve. I'm sure there's a lot of gossip that happens with their executives, and that gets thrown around. It's almost, it's kind of nasty, and that doesn't happen with us. You never hear Eric talking about anyone or going behind or tapping me on the shoulder and going, hey, by the way, blah, 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 blah. And I know that happens in WWE.
Oh, all the time.
That does not happen here. We have a certain level of respect. Every girl, every person gets that time that they deserve. And we all respect each other. I respect Ivelisse. I respect...
Pro Wrestling's history class is now in session with Back to the Territories. Join host Jim Cornette and J.J. Dillon as they explore Mid-Atlantic wrestling.
Sitting there with his hands like this was Jim Crockett Sr.
3.5 hours of wrestling history told through rare memorabilia and exclusive footage.
Nothing topped Wahoo McDaniel and Johnny Valentine.
Featuring over an hour of lost Mid-Atlantic film footage from Jim Cornette's collection.
The kid from Minnesota, it was going to be something, Ric Flair.
Head back to Mid-Atlantic Wrestling at shootinterviews.com.